Yeah, so him and I met training at Muscle Farm, like probably
4 years ago.
4-ish years ago, 4 or 5 maybe. Yeah, and then Easton moved out of, or Elevation moved out of Muscle Farm. We were still training together, and then well, actually, we started training together mostly when Elevation left Muscle Farm, and we kind of just stayed there, and like the gym was still there, and they're like, you can use it, but there's no team. And it was like me, him, Matt Brown, Chris Lopez, and
Art Petrosian.
yeah. You guys have the same last name?
No, mine's Pagosian.
Oh.
I would have said made the same mistake. So
The commentators have before for Sparta Combat League.
They called you Petrosian?
Yeah, he called like a hybrid of both of our last names.
Oh, yeah.
Because we both fall on the same card.
Well, there's the famous Petrosian.
Georgia.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. But he's Italian,
the
isn't he?
famous one.
Huh? No, he's Armenian. He's just moved to Italy
He's
when
from
he was 14.
Italy. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, so I'm out here in Denver, and so for everybody watching this kind of weird setup we got going on, not an unusual situation.
What are you guys doing out there?
Oh well, so he lives here. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
in a Roots house. Yeah. So I came out here basically just to train with a Root and train with Dwayne Ludwig, and he's out here in Denver as well.
Nice.
So I just came from there, and it's hard to see in my camera, but I think I still look a little bit sweaty. But that's the situation. So doing everything as unprofessional as possible right now.
Hey, but we're doing it, bro. We're doing it.
That's true.
So how long you guys been doing the podcast together?
So when I lived out here, we did it for we got like
6 months?
well, we had 22 or 23 episodes.
Nice.
Yeah, about
So-
that, roughly.
Yeah, just about 6 months, and then we stopped for like a year because when I moved, we didn't have the opportunity. We didn't have the setup to be able to do it like remotely, and also I was opening a business there, and I just didn't have the time. And then now, my business, I kind of got things more of like on a regular flow, so I had a little bit more spare time, and then I got $1,200 in the mail, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get a podcast set up.
Nice.
So. Yeah, we just started kicking it from there. So.
How about you, man? How long have you been doing Fighting Faith, right? No.
The
Fight of Faith. Yep.
The Fight of Faith.
Yeah. It's actually been like 3 years, man. Going on 4 this year.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, like I say to a lot of people is that me being a truck driver kind of what started it, because all I do is listen to podcasts because you get so bored.
Right.
Yeah.
Monster and coffee can only do so much, so I stopped with the Monster. I started listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, a lot of Fighter and the Kid, like everyone else who listened to podcasts.
Yeah.
But also I'm a church guy, but there was like some sort of weirdness to, I wanted to find something that could be both, and I couldn't find it. So that's why I made the podcast.
Lost audio here.
Nice. You lost your audio?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Yeah.
He's not hearing you in his headphones anymore.
Oh,
It went off. It turned off, and it's not.
you good now?
Like, I had the stupid timer on the app.
You have a what?
Timer on the app that makes the turn off. It's too technical. But, like, if I leave and come back, I think it'll work. Would that fuck it up?
I don't know. It's your thing. I don't understand.
It's weird it has a timer.
Like, it turns off at 10 p.m. Like, not night shift, but like limited apps.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I forgot to take it off the list.
Okay, yeah.
So should I leave and come back?
Yeah, leave and come back, but we'll keep going. You just won't be able to hear for a minute, but so you that's kind of the same with like the YouTube channel that I did. It was just like, I wish there was something that I had for me, and I was like, I'm just gonna. It's not there, then just make it. That's where all the best inventions come from. Like, you have a need and it's not filled. They're like, well, there's got to be other people out there in the world that have that same need, and then you fulfill you fill it for other people.
Can you hear me now?
You got to mute him.
Yes.
Cool.
Did you mute it? Okay,
Yeah.
nice, no echo. Sweet.
Yeah, and
So what'd you think of? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, we're gonna break down UFC 250 for everybody. And so, did you guys watch the whole thing? I only watched the main
Yeah.
card.
I only watched the main card, except was Sean O'Malley on the main card?
Yeah, I think it was the first fight on the main card.
I was
Okay.
so jaded after that fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I caught the last. I caught the last. It was funny. We went to this place called Cold Brews and Cheeseburgers or something like that.
sounds so good.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a very original name, but the food's good. But they had the prelims running, and they're in like COVID-19, like max capacity is like super low. It didn't occur to me that it wasn't like it wouldn't be worth it to them like monetarily to like because it's expensive for these restaurants to like. It's not like they just have to get one pay-per-view. They have to pay per TV and stuff like that.
Right.
But they're not going to have very many people there. It's not like they're going to pack it out. So they didn't get it. And we went there. We saw the prelims, and then like it starts. More time goes by, more time, and we're still like watching replays. And I was like, dude, I don't think they're having the fights. And he was
Yeah.
like, and then we thought about it, and they asked him like, no, we're not having them. And then we ended up just like pulling up, and I texted a route, and I was
For
like,
Pirates.
what's the illegal stream, dude? Like, so he sent me like to a Russian website.
He always hits me up for the pirate streams.
Yeah, he's got the connect.
Dude, I gotta get your number after this, bro.
So we're sitting there like in a bar, just like watching like a cell phone leaned up against a beer bottle. Then we watch the fights that way. So
That's
yeah,
real
it worked
dedication, bro.
out.
Yeah,
So
it's like
where do you want to start?
yeah, it's like by the way, it says I don't know why, but at the end of this, because usually when you do Zoom, when it was 2 or 3, you can have unlimited time. But now they're saying so this session is gonna like opt out in 10 minutes, but if you use the same link, we can come right back and do another 40 minutes. Like
Oh, okay, because we've been on for a minute.
yeah, so if it drops, we'll just click on the link again and we'll just continue as if it never happened.
Okay,
I can edit
cool,
it together.
cool.
But
Yeah, sounds good.
the same crap happened to me when I was trying to order the fights though. So I was camping over the weekend with the family, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring a projector. We're gonna have fun as a
Nice.
family. Gonna watch the So I was all excited. But then when I brought my laptop and I don't have my HDMI cable, I was so pissed. So I was like, all right, let's do it over the laptop. But dude, I got beef with ESPN now because I went online on my laptop and I have a subscription to ESPN Plus, of course. But whenever I tried to, when I actually bought the pay-per-view, so I should be seeing it already. But I feel bad for whoever is like not tech and like not tech savvy, because there were so many loopholes, dude, to watch it. Like it kept on wanting me to upgrade my subscription to like an annual deal.
I had the same thing on the last pay-per-view. On the last
That
pay-per-view.
is so shitty. That is so messed up because like
you pay for it on one device and you're trying to watch it on your other device, and it's like and then you sign in, but it's like doesn't show that you have it paid for already and stuff. Is that's what was happening to me?
It's not a good look. They haven't worked out the kinks yet.
Yeah, and it's after I had already bought it, so it's like, dude. So if I'm clicking on what's going on live, because what ended up happening, I couldn't even watch it live. I had to watch it after it was done, which was
bummer.
So I had
well,
to.
I mean,
yeah, I had
stay
to
off
stay
social
off.
media.
Yeah, I had to because I knew like people were saying, "Oh my god," I had to like get off social media. But it was a really good
To be
card.
honest, the way that I usually watch fights is because I don't know how the whole rest of the world does it, but I can never find streams. I can't do it. And then the last pay-per-view, he did send me one, and I saw like I saw the interview of Dominic Cruz after he lost, and then the link crashed, and I couldn't find another. And then what I usually do is I go on MMA Core, and they have them up like 2-3 days later.
Not even the next day.
Yeah, usually the next day, and it's usually in 1080p. Like it's good, it's high quality. I don't know how they do it, but then it's not nearly as exciting because I always know what happened, and
it kills it.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it live. It's a different energy. You feel like you contribute to it.
At that point, I'm only watching it for it's no longer has any like entertainment value. I'm only watching it for like study purposes.
I think
you
it's
know?
still entertainment, but just not nowhere near as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when if I'm tuning in and I watch something I already know, it's more like it's more like me just catching up on what I missed and the hype I could have had, you know, if I had
Right.
watched it live. And but you know what? Like this card was killer. Like I'm super impressed with Sean O'Malley. Like I knew he was good, but like to make Eddie Wineland look like that, it was pretty impressive. But Eddie's been in it for a while, right? So what you guys think about that? Was that more Sean being who he is, or is like Eddie didn't really belong anymore fighting? You know, what do you
No,
think
I don't think. I think it was. I thought from the beginning that it was a good style matchup
for Sean?
for
Wineland is
yeah.
good, and he's freaky strong, explosive. He just keeps his hands down
Yeah,
and chin a little too high.
But yeah, and he walks into things like with his hands. He doesn't really have any sort of like
Decent head
defensive
movement
system.
and good sense of distance, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley is a lanky dude, and he just planted that. Was it 1-2? What was it that dropped him?
I thought it was just like a full cross, wasn't
Oh,
it?
full cross, yeah.
yeah. He
Yeah.
faked the uppercut and then straight cross right to him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
He's
just
nice. He's really tricky.
undefeated. I
Very
mean,
fluid.
and he's like what, like 24 or something
Yeah,
weird.
he's pretty young. I'd like to see him like fight a good wrestler. I don't know if he has yet.
He won't fight a good wrestler for a while.
Yeah, they'll give him the
They'll
Conor
groom him.
McGregor path.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
He didn't fight a wrestler until Chad Mendez was like the first wrestler he got, but then that was like 2 week notice. Chad Mendez. Eventually he did, and he smashed, and he passed the test. But they were like, let's play this safe. We'll keep him away from the wrestlers because we don't know. Hey, when you lean forward, remember your mic's back here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wow. So much better. I was leaning for the camera. So, do you know what freaked me out, though? How calmly he walked away.
Yeah, that was
O'Malley?
weird, wasn't it?
No celebration. Like, there was no doubt in his mind that he was going to get it that way.
Yeah, that's how he is, man. He's
Yeah,
just
that's what he walked in. Apparently, that's what he expected to do, and I think he's known, like almost every fight he has is first round knockouts, and he's 12-0. So I mean, like I want to see him go to the distance with a wrestler. I want to see him do more, but like he's kind of on that wavelength, man, where like he kind of knows what's gonna happen. I hate to compare because I'm losing fandom of Conor nowadays, but he's kind of like a McGregor kind of.
He's very similar.
Reminiscent.
Yeah, he's very similar because he's like McGregor with a lot more weed in his system.
Yeah.
He's a little more humble, too, though.
Is he? I haven't really heard any of his interviews.
Yeah.
What was with that clown hair though? That has to go.
Yeah, you know
Tekashi 6ix9ine homage.
Yes.
Is that what it was for real?
That's
Was it?
what it was.
Oh,
No, legit.
It was?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Wow.
So he said he wanted to do it way before 6ix9ine did it, but now that 6ix9ine did it, and he didn't want to come into the UFC with hair like that, so he waited until he established a little bit more of a name to do that. But
dude, he should have came in with it. That's the time to do it. Now he's already noticed. Like, you
yeah.
know.
Definitely makes you stand out.
I remember
With a
like
good performance.
one of the first fighters I was ever like a fan of, like a specific, because I would watch the UFC when it was on and stuff like that. Why are you touching me? I would watch the UFC when it's on and stuff, but I wasn't like a real fan. But the first fighter like I followed was Clay Guida, because
he's the man.
I just remember I was like, who's that one dude that kind of looks like a caveman and his fucking hair is
From the
bouncing around all
Geico
the time?
commercial.
Yeah, he's in the Geico commercials.
That's great.
That kind of stuff gets you remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
guys like that, you don't forget.
I definitely remember him because he didn't win a lot, but whenever he did win, I was so happy for him because like he's such a good dude. And,
Yeah, you rooted for him.
Yeah, I would.
He came and trained with us.
Really?
He did?
Yeah, he did a camp with us. The nicest guy.
Before I was there, huh?
Yeah, it was right before you came. He did like a camp. Uh,
Cardio
I
for
tell
days.
you, in the training room, I feel like either he held back or he just stepped up big time during fight time.
I don't feel like he was ever like technically great.
Yeah, I know, but like he wasn't trying. You know how he fights? It's just like go,
All
go, go,
over.
go,
Yeah, yeah.
and like he's going ham.
He
Uh,
had control in
yeah, it's
training.
much more controlled sparring,
Hmm.
and he really showed it on fight night what he was made of.
Hmm.
He was one of the toughest guys, just relentless.
Yeah,
Sure.
that chin only lasts so long though. I feel like that was where he kind of like eventually you can only play that style for so many fights. You know, like just being tough and playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I remember there was a fight where he actually tried to change his style and like be technical, and
Did
it
not work.
it didn't play out for him. It's just not who he is.
It's not the
Um,
greatest style.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Right there. Let me. This thing's gonna drop out, so let me just call right back on the same link, and then we'll
Okay.
have a fresh 40 minutes
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. or something. I don't know.
They released him. He wasn't doing well. He was on. I think it was on a losing streak. I could be wrong, to be honest.
I can Google
I'm
it.
such a Rude always gives me crap because I'm such a terrible like fan. I'm not. I always tell him I'm like I'm not a fan. I'm a student, and there's a difference.
Like you either a fan, super casual fan, or a student, like Nick calls it, which is another word for super casual fan.
No. I only watch. I don't watch just the famous people. I only watch people who I feel like I'm going to.
Learn from.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably learn from everybody, but I feel like someone who I can take directly from. You know what I mean? I only want to watch like the best people.
He didn't watch Glover Teixeira versus Anthony Smith because they were heavyweights.
Light heavyweights. Yeah.
Which I think is crazy because
Do you have audio? I don't hear you.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can. Okay.
Glover Teixeira is a walking inspiration.
Oh yeah.
He is,
he's
but
super
I'm not. I mean, if I want to learn how to be like 42 years old and still kicking, then I'll ask him about it. But
dope. Oh wow.
That's not why.
You know, I met him once because I trained at the Pit Vegas back in the day. So John Hackleman opened up a gym in Vegas. That's how I started Hawaiian Kempo. That's what got me into everything. Um, so when John he's still training Glover, but one time Glover came into the gym, and so this was a super dope
Hey.
facility. Can you hear?
Can you turn your volume down?
Oh, you just hear me?
My mic is actually picking up his headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, but oh yeah, so Glover Teixeira came to the gym, but this facility was huge. It's no longer there at that location, but it was a huge warehouse. One whole side was a CrossFit gym for Sin City CrossFit, and the
It
whole
was
other side,
an affiliate of.
no, they just rented out the space because it was a huge warehouse, like huge, a huge mat for rolling, a huge like probably like 25 body bags to do uh, work on, and then the center of all that was an octagon, and
Really?
so there is CrossFitters going. There's they listen to metal music while they work out. There's a jujitsu class going. There's kickboxing going, but there's Glover in the corner there, and he's just doing hooks on a bag, and everyone is stopping in their tracks and listening to him because
Sounds like there's bombs going off.
yeah, all his hits are like ringing through the warehouse. Yeah, pa, yeah, pa.
Yeah.
Like every single hit over all the noise, and he smelled really bad. That's all I remember.
I lost audio.
Did you? What do you mean?
What did he say? Yeah, it's like coming in and out.
Oh, maybe you're too far from your phone. But
No, that's all I
he
remember
said that
from
he smelled
Glover
really
is
bad.
that yeah, he did. Yeah.
But but that's great, and that's a special talent. I mean, the power part, not the smelling part. But you can't watch someone with great power and then learn that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So
You soak it in through osmosis.
Yeah, man.
Did you lose it again?
He's awesome, but I mean, I don't want to be a jerk because I know
I'm back.
I don't want to be a jerk about Glover, but I don't think he'll be champion. But he's the guy that'll always be a
Because he's
contender.
thinking.
You know?
He's a gatekeeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't think he'll be champion either, especially because, especially as long as John Jones is around.
Listen, champ, not champ, contender at 42 years old
Yeah.
is incredible as a
People's
champ in my eyes.
Yeah.
Did
He's a people's champ.
you did
People's
you what did that remind me of? Oh yeah, did you hear that John Jones was talking about relinquishing his title?
Yeah. John Jones, Masvidal doesn't want to fight. Connor retired. All these guys are trying to have power moves.
I'm not blip.
These are all, without exception, negotiation tactics.
Fighters union. It's time to unionize.
Yeah, yeah.
Pulling Randy Couture.
What happened with Randy
but
Couture?
where can they go though? I mean, I don't think they can.
No, Randy rebelled against UFC the same way.
Yep.
He didn't want to resign a contract. He wanted to fight Fedor.
Especially back then, where was he gonna go?
Affliction.
Affliction,
but the UFC lawyers were too strong, and they kept him in.
Yeah, I bet John Jones has like 10 fights in his contract. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they can't... But I don't think John said he was going to retire. He just said that he's going to drop his 205 belt because he wants to fight Ngannou.
Yeah, and but it's all money issues for these guys, though. They're all complaining they're not getting paid enough.
Yeah. It's true, though, man. Like, the revenue split is, like, so far lower than, the fact that, like, there are people that are in the UFC that still work day jobs is, like, that's just not...
That shouldn't be the case.
That's really... Yeah.
Yeah, but,
$4 billion company, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, the intern that's like, censoring the YouTube videos probably makes more than the guy that's in the beginning of the card.
It's like Walmart, one of the biggest companies in the world, but everyone makes minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's true, but the difference with that is it doesn't take a whole lot of skill
right.
to work at Walmart.
You could probably just live on Walmart's salary if you work hard all the time.
I'm sure you can get by. There was this guy
as a manager or something.
Yeah, there was this guy at my my hometown Walmart, and he was a Jamaican guy, and he was like the greeter, and he was like known around the city. Like people would talk like, "Dude, I went to Walmart the other day." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he was like, "Welcome to Walmart, everybody, welcome, you sir, welcome to Walmart." Like, fucking thank you, man. I'm so happy to be here now. And you'd go in the back, like by the bathrooms, and it was like it would have employee of the month with a picture frame for every month of the year, and it was just him, like January, February, March, all the way through.
It's like it's just a flip book of all different facial expressions.
Keep enthusiasm and energy all day long.
Yeah.
People at Walmart.
Yeah, I don't know.
It takes a special kind of man to do that.
That's right, bro. That's right. So we were.
All right. So what's the?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We were talking about gatekeepers of divisions, right?
Yeah.
I thought that's what Aljamain Sterling was, honestly. But he did good.
Well, I'm super biased because we train with Corey, but even with that, I don't think I would have ever picked Aljo over Corey.
Me either.
You still losing your audio? You know?
Were you good now?
No, I would. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't picking him to win, but I was laughing at his post-fight interview.
What did he say?
Didn't hear it.
He said, Peter Yan, I'm coming on your ass.
Oh yeah, he said I'm coming on your ass.
Oh, I should have rehearsed that more.
And then he realized what he said, but he tried to play it. Like you could see the expression on his face changed for like a split second.
Yeah.
And then he continued to he played it off, but for a while he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, and I'm not hating, but I would never see him as champion. But they're talking about how he's in contention now. But
Who, Aljo?
Yeah, because Cejudo kind of ruined the division, right? I mean, like, kind of retired, and now it's like up for grabs for the time being.
Cejudo's gonna be back too, but there's gonna be a new champ. Wait, Jose Aldo and Peter Yan are fighting for the title.
Is that what it is?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's probably
That's
making a new
the,
title.
right.
Did Jose Aldo get a win? Well, I mean,
Hmm.
he had. It should have been a win.
Yeah, but I think they technically turned it over. I mean, like not legally, but like even Dana was like, yeah, he won that fight. So
As far
Dana
as we're
turned it over
concerned,
in his head.
he's done that before, where he was like, "Dude, he's moving forward
hmm
as if he won." You know.
yeah, I think
Um,
Aldo's too big for bantamweight though. That looked horrible. I mean, he did it
he looked terrible, but he performed just as good as he always does.
right. So I mean,
He
I,
looked like I don't know, something that's really
I
small with
just
a
don't
giant
know
head.
why.
I can't think of a good comparison.
something really
I don't know why he didn't throw a single leg kick in that Marlon
He
Moraes fight.
doesn't throw leg kicks anymore.
It was such a good weapon for him.
Since Max Holloway, like he didn't throw leg kicks in that fight, and then like one or two, and then ever since then he stopped throwing.
Maybe he
what
tore
happened.
his knees
Yeah, that's only thing I could think of is that
or
he has
hips,
some sort of
hip problems.
injury that he can't throw him anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Crow Cop. When he stopped kicking his trademark high kick, and he just became like a boxer. It was
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how fast that fight went, man. I felt so that was rough for Corey.
Aljamain shows a lot of promise, and especially now if Cejudo's not in the picture,
hmm
I could see him becoming champion.
Cejudo's saying that he wants to come back and fight.
Oh, he's already talking about coming back?
Well, he said like very obviously, it's like the only fight that I would come back for, you know. So it's kind of like
So
obviously
cringy.
you're yeah.
The cringe king.
He said Volkanovski. He said that I would come back to fight
Oh,
Volkanovski.
for the third title?
Yeah, he'd be
Alex would
quadruple
kill
C.
him.
I think so. He's
Too
pretty
big.
amazing.
He's
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah. He's big even for 45, and Cejudo's small for 35.
hmm
So
Well, they
that'd be
just
rough.
announced Max versus Alex again rematch.
That's fair.
You know,
Nice.
yeah,
That was a great fight.
Max deserves it.
Volkanovski guy is one of my favorite fighters right now.
Yeah,
His fight against Chad Mendes was like,
yeah.
his artwork. I still get like an echo
Yeah.
a little bit, but I can. I can take it out in post.
So how do you what do you think about Cody's knockout though? I mean, like, it's good to see him
That
get a
was
win,
beautiful,
but
too.
you know,
You didn't think that was beautiful?
no, it was beautiful. But is
I
that
think it
going
was
to
even
bring
more
him?
impressive
Is that
than
going to bring him back
O'Malley's.
to the champ though, to get the belt again? Is that
I think him and O'Malley are going to fight next.
That would be nice, but I think O'Malley would beat Cody because Cody. I don't. Well, it's tough to say that he doesn't have a chin because he's been knocked out 3 times, but he's been knocked out by guys that have a lot of knockouts.
He didn't even get touched his last fight.
Yeah.
That's a pick and fight, in my opinion. You have world championship experience with Cody, and then you have this young phenom coming in with incredible confidence.
yeah?
And that's like a recipe for a great fight.
It'd be interesting to see if like because O'Malley does a lot of like distance plays and counters and stuff, but Cody's so fast. Like it'd be really tough to counter him. Although what's his name? Who's the last guy that he fought? Was it Pedro Munoz?
Yes.
He's not very fast, and he basically out countered Cody. So that's an argument against that. I don't know. That'd be very interesting.
Cody fought like a dumbass then. Just brawled.
He did, yeah. There's 2 Codys, and like there's a Cody that's 90% of the time around, and he's just
Definitely
like an idiot, and then
The Cody that came in last Saturday can beat O'Malley. His walk-off knockout was even more impressive, arguably,
yeah,
than O'Malley's.
he put his whole life into that swing.
Yeah,
He swung so hard.
He took
Like,
all
when you watch
the
three
slow-mo-
pieces into that punch.
He what? Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. he was like yelling TJ's name in his head as he threw that.
Wait.
When he slipped that punch, like he bent all the way down to the waist, and his right hand was like on the cage.
Yeah.
And he like pushed off the cage and threw it back
Yes.
like into him. It was pretty nuts.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, me neither.
Yeah, it
Me
was-
neither.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I just to attest to his speed though, I couldn't even tell that's what he did until it was in slow motion. He was moving
Yeah.
pretty fast. Like
Mm-hmm.
Rafael is pretty, like, he's pretty bulky for a bantamweight. So
Yeah.
I knew Cody was gonna have the speed advantage in that, but like I wasn't even noticing what Cody was doing until I watched it in slow mo. Like, oh wow,
Right.
like that
Yeah.
happened real quick. And
Yeah, same. Yeah, he did awesome. It's just gonna. But I remember like when he fought Dominic, I remember feeling the same way. Like, dude, he's amazing.
mm-hmm.
Then he had 3 of the worst fights of his whole career.
Yeah, man.
So we'll see. But now he has a good like as much as I love Uriah Faber, he's just not like he's not a strategist. He's not really a technician too much.
Right.
Don't talk about Uriah like that.
But I love him, and he's
you
super
take
good.
That man has a degree in human development, and he has developed all of those champions. The little snake in the grass, the Cody, all of them are because of Uriah.
I don't think TJ is.
So who's a
because,
better head coach though, Uriah or Mark Henry?
Well, 100% Mark Henry. You can't even make that argument.
Right, and that's why Cody's different this camp. He worked with Mark.
Because
is that what he did?
he went to Mark Henry, yeah, and it's pretty funny because
The new snake in the grass.
Yeah, it's pretty funny after all that crap he was talking about TJ, like, and he was like basically said the exact same thing that TJ said when he went to Dwayne's. He was like, he's like, I'm team alpha male for life, but I just needed some different, like a different look here and there.
Right.
Okay.
Do you guys remember seeing that happen? Like go down during the
He was
Ultimate
coming.
Fighter?
Yes. He was coming to us.
Yeah, we were.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
No, but I liked how Connor called that though, because TJ was kind of playing the fence. He didn't like make it known that he was leaving yet. But then Connor, that's why Connor called him snake in the grass, like called him out, like, dude, he's leaving you. Like he's leaving.
Antagonizer.
He did, but depending on who you believe, according to TJ, Uriah told him to leave. Because he tried to be like, dude, I'm going to do both. Like, I'm going to go back and forth. And he's like, no, you have to pick one or the other.
Sure.
But, you know, I don't know what Uriah's side of the story is on that one. But he talked about it on Joe Rogan's a long time ago. I forgot really what they said, how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I kind of stopped caring.
Me too. Yeah, I lost interest.
Yeah. That was a story.
So what's the next fight up the card? What happened after that?
Oh, the Lumberjack versus Amanda Nunes.
The Lumberjack?
The Lioness versus the Lumberjack. Canadian Lumberjack.
No, we missed somebody.
Yeah.
We missed Neil's fight.
Oh, Neil. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Neil
Machine.
Neil's another teammate of ours.
Nice.
He's drowned all of us.
He's never dropped me before.
He hasn't drowned you?
No.
I guess everybody in this house besides Nick. My 2 other roommates are also teammates, and he has drowned all of us.
Oh, drowned.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I think he said dropped. He's definitely drowned me. Yeah,
no,
drowned me
not
for sure.
drowned.
Yeah.
Like when you gasping for air in the middle of the round.
Yeah, he
That's what he started doing to this guy too, because did not have a good start in this fight, and then round 2 he turned it around, and round 3 he just poured it on him.
Wow.
He had such a weird, like a strange game plan because he didn't really he kept going to the clinch, but he wasn't winning the clinch at first. And he kept going back to it, and I'm like, why is he doing that? But
that's the resilience.
Yeah. But I'm guessing his plan was to use the clinch to make him tired.
Because his go never stops, never wavers.
Dude, he's so
he stays
terrible
throughout the whole fight.
Yeah. Sparring with him is like it's so good and so bad, and like he just like stays in your face the whole time. Like it just like keeps going. Like doesn't take breaks. He's such a
and he knows that's his talent.
Didn't you say he had a lower resting heart rate than like Lance Armstrong or something like that?
It was close to that. It was like 34 or something.
I think he said it was lower. Was it Lance Armstrong though? We talked about this on our podcast when he was on.
It was something.
It was like Lance Armstrong or like Michael Phelps or someone ridiculous, and he had a lower resting heart rate. Yeah,
I've never seen him fatigued except for like from a crazy fight. But Neil, I never seen him like gas ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the captain of our team.
Wow.
Yeah.
So congrats to him. I'm glad. You know, wasn't there talk of him leaving UFC at one point or no? Or was that someone else?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I might be
Not that we
thinking
know.
about someone else. Well, congrats to him, man. He got a decision win. UFC 250. Like, oh yeah, the main event was Amanda. Now I like Amanda a lot. Like how I like how she is down to throw, like stand in front of you and throw, but she knows how to use distance just to stay out of reach out of everybody. Like
she has
Fights
her
like a man.
distance down perfectly. Yeah, yeah. She does. Well, she hits like a man for sure.
She's my girl's favorite fighter.
Yeah.
she's one of my favorites. I mean,
It's like, oh, my Amanda.
yeah, like
And then she starts talking. Then you don't want to listen.
I have to say I didn't watch it.
Oh, sexist.
No, that really it was just if I recall, I think my stream dropped and
And you didn't.
I didn't care enough. No, I did try to find a new one. I tried like all the different links on that.
And the pop-up ad came on, so he was like, too much work.
Arut doesn't want to text me a new link. I'm done for the night.
But so I'll let you guys talk about it.
So the Lioness versus the Canadian Lumberjack.
Is that her nickname?
It should be.
That's awful.
Can I just point out how tough that bitch is?
Yeah.
Unshakable.
She did not fade.
Like,
yeah.
How did the fight play out?
she was just a punching bag for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And just took it.
Was it Anthony Joshua level of were her teeth falling out?
No, but no, I think Anthony Smith was worse.
Yeah, Anthony Smith. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, like you can tell she was still in it. Like even on the 5th round, she was still going forward. Like,
Okay, let me rephrase that a little bit. She was in the fight, but she was not giving up, but she had 0 chance of winning.
Yeah, outclassed, 100%. Yeah,
Do you think her corner should have stopped it? Was it that bad?
What?
Or should her corner have stopped it? Was it bad enough for that?
Yeah. They should have
Probably.
stopped it at the end of 4th. No point for 5th, but I think she did the same thing with Chris Cyborg.
Who?
This Canadian Lumberjack.
Just took the. Why is she a Canadian lumberjack?
She looks like it. She looks like Canadian Lumberjack.
She wear like a flannel T-shirt when she fights.
No,
I love how he's saying this as like a matter of fact. Like this is her nickname. Like
Yeah.
She just has that vibe about her.
I thought you meant that was her real nickname. I was like,
right?
Who picked
He's
that?
saying it like it is.
She grew up on maple syrup and Canadian bacon, and she chops wood for fun. It's her thing. It's Canadian Lumberjack. She's tough like one. That's why.
Yes.
That's really.
Yes.
So with Cyborg, same thing. She just took her ass whooping for 5 rounds, and I think that's her MO. They didn't want to take that away from her. That was her victory in that fight, to go all 5 rounds.
So
It's a Rocky moment, going the distance.
yeah.
There's no such thing as moral victories in title fights,
No.
in my opinion.
So what do we do with Amanda next? Make her fight a guy? What's literally
Yes.
what's next?
Yes. Yes.
Henry
I don't know.
Cejudo, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, he
Let's
wants a
go.
145-pound belt.
Let's go.
Start with Amanda. Then he can be 4 division champion.
Then he can get Alex. You can get Alex and Amanda.
Yeah.
It'll be his
Both
dip in the
belts.
45 division.
Wasn't he like sarcastically calling her out at one point?
Shevchenko. He was calling Shevchenko out.
Was she? Oh, was he?
I think
Because
he
she's
called
smaller.
out Amanda at one point too. He's desperate.
I thought he did.
Yeah, I think he like not officially, but like he said he was open to it. Like
Was he joking?
no, I think he would.
I hope so.
Honestly,
As
He would.
long as he was legally covered. I guess that's not against the law, right? I mean,
that's interesting
If
because
Amanda would do it,
I think Amanda would. Amanda was
I don't think
Amanda's game, but I think that might be a good conversation to have. Is like, is people ready for that? Like, if that's the case, like, I think.
hey, if you want equal rights for women, it's not a
equal
buffet
ass
line.
whoopings.
I go beat you like the dude you look like.
This will be the ultimate women's rights fight.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that fight.
Women's lives matter.
I don't know who I would pick in that fight.
Come on.
I don't know who I'd.
Cejudo all day.
Yeah,
He would
100%.
smash her.
100%. She's
Yeah.
bigger than him.
No. He would smash her. Come on, that's a man.
I got Amanda, bro.
I don't know.
For real?
You would pick Amanda?
I got Amanda over Sam.
I might.
Yeah,
I
you're
might.
just being a contrarian.
I might pick Amanda.
Maybe
What?
because Amanda's my favorite. I mean, like, out of the two.
You're biased.
Yeah. I'm probably biased, but like, he would have to out wrestle her. But she's big, dude. I don't know. She
I
had a
think
hell
this
of a
one would
sprawl over
happen.
him.
Yeah.
She gained a few pounds. And I think he would be feeling that weight a little bit. It won't be like an easy fight for him, but I think he'll win. I think he'll win the decision.
Yeah.
It would be satisfying if he knocked
She
her
got
out.
knocked out. If he knocked her out,
Yeah.
that says something about you as a person.
There's gonna be
That's
so
not
many
okay.
angry listeners on this episode.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I've never wished this upon any other female fighter. But
You saying you like Cejudo more than Amanda Nunes?
yeah, triple cringe all day.
Oh, I like Amanda
Because
Nunes.
he admits that he's cringy. Amanda is like a Canadian from South Park.
Does he say that he's?
You know how her mouth opens? Like a Canadian's mouth in South Park? That's Amanda. Like when she talks, it's that. With a Brazilian accent.
She's trying, man. She's trying.
I like her. I think she's cool. I think she has like a certain degree of like charisma, I guess. You know,
Humble.
What?
definitely more
kind.
than Triple C. What?
She's humble. She's kind. Triple C is kind of trying to figure himself out. He got a girlfriend. That's cool.
Yeah.
Triple
First
C.
time ever.
Yep. He didn't know.
Someone
what to
said
do.
that he said, I don't know if this is true, but someone
posted
said
it.
that he said kind of insinuated that was part of why he was retiring. He's like,
Yes.
I have a girlfriend now. And
Yes, he said that.
So weird.
yeah.
I think, like you said, he's figuring himself out right now.
Yeah.
Well, he said on one of Brendan Schaub's like 500 podcasts that he was actually no. Brendan Schaub said that was telling the story that basically like off mic he was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna retire. Like I'm burnt out. They don't pay me enough money. Like
Of course, he said that to Brendan Schaub because Brendan Schaub's the biggest gossip in there.
he knew Brendan Schaub was gonna put it out there.
He's planting the seeds of renegotiation.
That's the seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he really does want to retire. But no, he's just setting it up. Like, yeah, he's not messing around. He really wants to retire.
He'll come back. What does he think? 33?
What?
32?
33.
He'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just more money game.
I have so much respect for Cejudo because he is won Olympic gold medals. And then 2 loses to Demetrius, come back and beats Demetrius in the fight with so much adversity.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes back, smashes TJ, and has been defending his title so well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll say that TJ stoppage was early until the day that I die.
What?
I said I maintain that TJ stoppage was early until the day that I die.
Mm.
Like I won't ever admit that it wasn't, even though it was on the line. But in my
that
biased
was pretty
head.
quick.
You say it was
wasn't it?
stopped early?
Yeah.
I think it was stopped a little early.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
There have been earlier
arguable.
stoppages though. There have been like earlier stoppages. It wasn't like
it wasn't
flagrantly
terrible, like the worst.
Yeah.
And the
Which is
argument
biased,
is
'cause we're
that
saying
TJ was saying I wasn't completely out, but I don't think you have to be completely out for a fight to be stopped. It's just you're taking too many hits without responding. You know?
The rule is supposed to be that you're not intelligently defending yourself, and he definitely was. Like his hands were up, and he was like trying to slip and get out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was standing up and like it was definitely earlier than the Dominic Cruz one, because people were saying when that one was early, I was like, you know what I mean, like. Maybe he was getting up a little, but there was definitely a moment where he was not getting up. Like he was just turtled up, you know, with his hands in front of his head, just taking shots.
Yeah, I didn't like how Dominic took that. He kind of blamed the ref like last minute, and you know,
trying to say he smelled alcohol on his breath and stuff like that.
Like what?
Yeah.
I mean,
You'll say anything to save face.
You know what's whenever I think of Demetrius, I think of Ian McCall, man, because their fight was so close. What would have happened if Ian would have won that decision? His life would have been changed forever. You know, like same thing with Tim
Wasn't
Elliott.
that the original? Was that the original like flyweight title fight?
I think it was between them two. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and Ian McCall was a very talented guy. Just a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Uncle Creepy, right?
Yeah. He heavily relied on the IVs to replenish because he sucked down so much weight. But they kind of they took away the IVs. They didn't allow the IVs anymore, so that really affected him how he cut weight. But
I hear, from what I hear, essentially everyone still uses those IVs.
Oh wow.
Is there a medical exemption or something?
No, my understanding is essentially that there's no like solid way to test. And the only way you can get caught is if someone tells on you, basically. And like, was it Eric Silva or somebody, like one of the only people that's been caught for like illegal IV use. Basically, he had like a falling out with his manager, and his manager was like, "Hey, this fucking guy," you know, basically told on him for I went to USADA because they had a falling out. Yeah. But that's what I've been told. Everybody just like goes in their hotel room and kind of does it behind closed doors. I could be wrong, but that's the word on the street.
Wow. Yeah. So that's pretty much UFC 250 in a nutshell, man. I mean, like, it's nice talking to people who actually train for a change, because like I'm usually talking to myself about fights.
Yeah. Do you always do your you usually have
like
guests
you know
though,
a
right?
lot about you. Like you're deep. You're not a casual fan like Nick. You watch more fights.
you know, I've been a fan for over a decade. It's just
well, he trains as well though.
Yeah.
Did you ever share dog account?
I train, you know, like because lifting weights is so boring for me. I've always hated those guys, you know. But I used to weigh almost 300 pounds. But
no way.
I started kickboxing and trying to eat better, going more plant-based nowadays. I'm sitting around like 240, 235 now.
Okay, nice.
So like I feel good, dude. Like I actually started like a little boxing club for beginners, for guys who aren't fighters, but I'm actually trying to take lessons from Dewey Cooper. He lives in Vegas, and I helped him.
I know that name.
That's Francis's striking coach.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
The guy with the dreads.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I talked to him a few times, and he's willing to help me out, like with technique, and so that's huge
awesome
for me. You know.
Have you ever asked him about Francis? Because my impression is that he spends 3 months trying to teach him techniques, and then Francis goes in there and wings it, and he's just like, oh.
And he can't argue with
all right.
Good enough, Francis.
Yeah, that knockout was like so wild, but like scary, and
yeah, it was.
And I think all like the past 3 or 4 fights of Francis has been his all first round knockouts. Like, recorded hardest hit, I guess, in the world or something. I don't know, but
on the little punch that thing.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, if you're the baddest dude on the planet, I mean, I should ask him that, because they do a lot of like, Dewey likes to use little tiny mitts when he focus mitts.
Do those accuracy work?
And I mean, but Francis goes in there and does Francis, you know. So I mean, that'd be a good question to ask him. But
there's so much force, momentum, just like the Juggernaut, you know, when he would run through people. You ever see 2 gorillas fight? Like when they go at each other and
they just run at full speed.
Such force.
Yeah.
That's Francis.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's terrifying. But if it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know.
Yeah.
I think
Reem was watching that fight with us at my house, and he's fought both of those guys. And when I asked him, "Who do you got?" without hesitation,
Francis.
Francis.
Yeah.
So my batteries are getting low. Should we do a little end call?
Yeah, because I got like 6 minutes left on this one anyway.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but where can people listen to your podcast? Are you guys on YouTube as well?
Yeah, so we're YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, pretty much anywhere. We're like on all the major
cool
platforms.
Hopes and chokes.
Yeah, Quotes and Chokes is the podcast on YouTube. It's just on my personal YouTube page. It's just Nick Angeloni.
Okay.
And then if you wanna, you can follow the podcast on social media. It's at Quotes and Chokes, pretty much across the board: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Nice.
And then you can follow me. Same thing: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Nick Angeloni 155.
What's your tag,
You can
Arup?
follow me and on Instagram, prime_time 9999.
Did you?
It's with echo.
Oh.
It's throwing me off.
We've been doing this for how long, and he always still has to think about his Instagram tag. It's 4 nines, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
So you want to do your end? What's up? What's your details and YouTube? All that stuff?
Mine is Instagram is at the Fight of Faith with all underscores in between. Fight of Faith on YouTube and Facebook. My Twitter sucks, so I don't really use it, but it's at Fight of Faith Pod.
I don't use it.
Yeah. So just this is a good co-cast. I think other people should do this too, like to cross pollinate each other's audience and everything, and
Yeah.
like
We didn't really explain that, but we also didn't even introduce each other.
I wanted to get into the name Fight of Faith a little more.
Okay.
But I think you talked about it. My audio cut off? Or no?
No, this was before the recording started.
Yeah, it was
Before
before. We still got 4 minutes on the time.
Yeah, if you could, it's just so interesting to me.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I got the name from in the book of Timothy. I think it's First Timothy. The Apostle Paul's writing to a church, and he's basically encouraging them, especially to Timothy was like a younger pastor guy, like his protege. So he's just telling Timothy to keep fighting. Fight the good fight of faith, because having faith isn't passive. It's more of something you use to overcome. So for me, whenever I talk to people, it doesn't even have to be religious people. It doesn't even have to be Christian people. It's about people having something that they went through in their life and how they overcame it. If it's martial arts or if it's a suicidal issue, like we all have a story to tell. So that's basically what the Fight of Faith is about. Yeah, I talk about Jesus. Yeah, I talk about UFC, but I want it relatable to everybody. Everyone's included, and that's what it's about. Like that's why I do what I do. That's why I do kickboxing. I literally love breakthrough. I love being able to push past the limit where your body's telling you you can't go on, but you do 3 more rounds because you can.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about for me. And
Because you believe.
yeah, man. And it's almost like telling your mind to shut up and you're still doing it. And that can apply to any area in your life. I'm helping people who are, there's a guy that I'm kind of like mentoring. His name is Josh, and he goes boxing with me. I hold pads for him. His cholesterol is down. He's eating a plant-based diet with me. He's happier than ever. Like, and me and him would share like stories about how we fell into depression and now he's out of it. Like, this is what I want to do, man. I want to help people like that.
That's awesome.
Doesn't matter what religion. What.
I used to be a person that said I have to see to believe. But then on the mushroom trip once, it came to me that you have to believe to see sometimes too.
Nice.
It's both ways.
Yeah.
And like if you believe it, good or bad, you will manifest either.
You'll see it.
Like yeah, so it is a fight. Fight to have faith.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if I realized after that this was gonna go on your podcast as well as ours, and I don't know if we were kind of cussing a little bit.
Dude, I cuss in my own personal life a lot.
Okay. I actually have a scriptural basis. We don't have to get into why, because I try to I'm Christian as well, and I try to live my life by that. But I have a scriptural basis as to why I think it's okay it's not wrong to cuss.
Same here. In Philippians, right, Paul? Did you
I don't know how much time we have left, but essentially like the texts that people will use to say like why you shouldn't cuss, in my opinion, is if you look at the better and like more accurate translations that have like the older copies and things like that, what it's actually saying is like, don't use like words that are of no use, or like don't like admonish people or build them up. So it's basically like, it depends on how you're cussing essentially. But
Exactly.
like you could tear
Context.
someone down, or like be like use the word is kind of like, it says evil, but what it is, it's more like rotten, like the way like a fruit is rotten. It's like
Right.
something that you can't really use for good. You know what I mean? So that
Exactly.
doesn't have to
I
be a
can
cuss
curse
word.
someone without cussing at them. I can tell them
Right,
you're a piece of shit, you're nobody, you're no good, and that's
right,
horrible, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, man. I'm all about it.
No, that's how I feel.
Yeah, man. Let's keep in touch, guys. I appreciate y'all taking the time. Thank you for
Yeah,
breaking this
definitely.
down for me, and I'll try to upload it.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right,
And then, well, I'll text you after. We'll get the details. But
all right.
cool. Good.
It's good
You
meeting you, bro.
guys. Talk to you later.
Good talking.
Bye.